inspired to make another video or more videos again, so here I am. I've been very busy for the past forever. Especially the past couple of months have been pretty hectic and pretty busy. So for this video back, I decided that I want to do a May media wrap up, essentially. Kind of inspired by like May favorites, but just in terms of like all the books I've read, music I've been listening to, and movies I've watched, and there's all other bits of media and stuff like that that I've ingested. In terms of the month of May, May was actually a pretty busy month for me. April was a pretty busy month at the end. My boyfriend's ma and aunt were visiting, and then his dad joined us later on. And then they left, and then 4 days later my best friend arrived and was in Korea for 3 weeks. So we had a very hectic kind of block of about 6 weeks of people visiting and blah 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 blah. Very lovely to see everybody. It was very busy. So music. May is the month of Eurovision. I love Eurovision. I do. I'm a European. I'm Irish, but I'm very like European, if you get what I mean. And I love Eurovision. I love Eurovision. I do. I haven't watched it really in a couple of years because of Israel's participation. I stopped watching Eurovision when they won. I think it was 2015 or 2016 when they won. I stopped watching, and that's kind of when I learned about like Israel Palestine and everything. I thought, I don't agree with them being in it, but I do kind of use May and run up to Eurovision as an excuse to, one, listen to like all the songs that are in Eurovision that year and see just what everyone's entering and what the vibe is, and then also just go back and listen to old Eurovision songs that I love. One of my favorite songs this year, I think like a lot of people, was Espresso Macchiato. It was slay. It was fun. It was a fun one. You know what I mean? I like just a fun, crazy, stupid, ridiculous song. Because what Eurovision's about, okay? So what it's about. It's a little bit racist towards the Italians. Yes. Yes, it is a little bit. And I also kind of live for Milkshake Man by, I can't remember the young man from Australia. That was just, again, a silly, ridiculous, campy song. Obsessed. Next person I was also listening to, I was listening to a lot of Seema this month. Her new single, Take a Sexy Picture of Me, which is now viral on TikTok, dropped, and I was loving it. I've listened to Seema like a good bit before, and I do like her. I mean, who doesn't like Seema? Do you know what I mean? Who doesn't love Seema? But I don't know, just her dropping that single, I just was like, oh, I'm probably gonna go back and like just listen to her stuff, because like her last album that dropped, I actually just never listened to it. I love her. I think she's great. I'm very excited for Euro Country. It's coming out in August, I think it is, sometime in August. Very excited for that. Also, I've been talking similar to like new releases in like Irish music. People Pleaser by Soda Blonde dropped, which is their latest EP. Soda Blonde is one of my favorite bands ever. I'm obsessed with Soda Blonde. Was a very, very big Little Green Cars fan, and now I'm a Soda Blonde fan. So I enjoyed it. I liked it. It's very different. It's different to their sound, and their sound's already very interesting and unique, so it's even more different to that. I enjoyed it. I liked it. They've only released, I think it's 2 EPs and 2 albums. Yes. The other EP is like Isolation Content. It's one they released during lockdown. That one's great. I love that EP, but I also love it. I'm one for, I love like a concept album, or like an album with like a big story behind or whatever. I love that shit. I'm obsessed with it. But I enjoy People Pleaser. I guess it's just very different to their usual sound. So maybe I have to just listen to it a little bit more and like get a little bit more into it. Okay, so the next thing I was listening to, it's a bit of a collection of stuff. So next week I am going to a music festival here in Korea. very excited going to, it's called DMZ Peace Train. And yes, it's a music festival that's really close to the DMZ. Can't wait. But it's all indie rock and like psychedelic rock and indie pop and all this, and yeah, I'm just really excited for it. I cannot fucking wait. Bands of note, we've kind of been listening to all of them, and bands of note that I really like and my boyfriend really likes, and ones that we're very excited to see are, first one, Meaningful Stone, kind of similar to Soda Blonde actually, just very like cool, ethereal-y, indie rock kind of vibes. I don't know how to, I really don't know how to describe her, which is what I love. I love bands where you're just like, I don't know how to describe them. Kind of, or like a little bit like Soda Blondie, kind of a little bit Florence and the Machine-y, but like, but not them at all. If I'm just trying to like make some comparisons so you have a little bit of an idea, you should listen to them. They're brilliant. Meaningful Stone. Okay, next one. Oh. Wow are brilliant. They're these like 4 Korean guys. They're great. They're just like an indie rock band and they're just fun. It's just really fun, kind of a little bit System of a Down, but if System of a Down was indie rock and Korean, do you know what I mean? Another one is The Chairs. They're a Taiwanese band. They're great. Love The Chairs. And oh, there's this other band called Minami Deutsch, and they're this Japanese psychedelic rock band. They're great. I never really listened to psychedelic rock, and they're one of those ones that like you just, do you know what I mean? You're just like, I mean, that's what psychedelic rock is for, but they're great. I really like them. And then the band that I'm like, I am most excited to see at this festival is Japanese Breakfast. I have wanted to see Japanese Breakfast for so long. I've been listening to them for a really long time. I love Japanese Breakfast. I love Japanese Breakfast. Because I remember seeing the lineup and I went, maybe it's just a band with another name. No, it's the Japanese Breakfast. I am so excited. I'm so excited. I love Japanese Breakfast. I started the month reading Dune and I finished it like within the first week of May. Dune's great. Dune is so fucking good. I love the films and also love the David Lynch film. It's very different, but I kind of love it. It's really bad, but I love it. Now, I was apprehensive because I tried to read science fiction before and just whatever it was, I just couldn't fucking get into it. I tried to read before Do Electric Sheep Dream When They Sleep, or it's the book that Blade Runner is based off of. I don't know, but I couldn't get into it. I couldn't read it. I love Dune. Dune I gave like a 5 out of 5. It's one of my new favorite books. I love it. I do want to read the rest of them. I don't know when, but I do want to read the rest of them at some point. Okay. And then after I read that, I read Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan because I wanted something nice and short, nice and easy after reading Dune. Dune is actually very easy to read, but Dune is like 680 pages long. It's a mammoth. Small Things Like These is like 100 and something pages. Yeah, it's tiny. And it was great, but I thought, oh, actually the book is minuscule. I can read that, and I did. I read it in like 2 days. So I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. Very sad. Very sad. Okay, and then when I finished Small Things Like These, I went on and I read The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I never did that in school. I know it's one of those books that people do in school. I didn't do it. But it's one of those ones I was reading and I went, I understand why this is done in school. I was reading it and I went, there's a lot of essay titles in here. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's one that there's a lot going on for us now reading, that you can really write about cultural context and all this stuff, and you know, and I think the characters are all very intricate, very interesting, especially with their relationships with each other. I enjoyed it. I like The Great Gatsby. But I'll probably never read it again. I will say to people, I think people should read it. I think it's great. Again, I knew nothing about it. I hadn't seen like the film of it or anything that I would like to watch, because I've seen like the trailer for it and stuff, so I know visually what it looks like. But yeah, I liked it. I liked The Great Gatsby. And then I started at the end of the month that I'm still reading is Greek Lessons by Han Kang. I love Han Kang so much. Greek Lessons is very different to the other books I've read by her. I've read The Vegetarian, which is great. Everyone should read The Vegetarian. And if not, I think genuinely everybody should read Human Acts by Han Kang. Oh, it's just one of the most devastating books I've like ever read in my entire life, but it's incredible. It's so good. Greek Lessons, it's about I'm not really sure what it's about. It's about language, and it's about our relationship to language and how we communicate with each other, all that kind of thing. And I think this is just a book about that, and there's no real plot or story to it. Hey, which is totally fine. I've set for myself a goal. I want to read 30 books this year. So far I've read like 8 or 9. We'll see. I know this year I'm doing a lot of traveling. I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling, so I'm not being on long flights and stuff. So I will have time to read then. But here's hoping I get those 30 books. I just realized I forgot to put my earrings or my rings on. Okay. So, films. I only watched 3 films this month. Just crazy compared to like, I think I watched like 8, 9 or 10 or something in April. But the reason why I realized like, oh, I was actually like super fucking busy. So the first one that I watched was The Crow. Just loved that. The Crow was so fucking good. We need more goths making movies, okay? It's been a long time since I've watched a super highly over stylized film, and I loved it. I think it's just like the amount of care, work, love and detail that just went into like the world building and how it looked, which was great. I love the fact that they made like a goth action movie. Great idea, you know? I think we need to give, we need more films like The Crow, and we don't need like a shitty remake that came out like what, like 2 years ago or whatever. No, just something completely different, please and thank you. Loved it. It was so great. I really, really enjoyed it. Then the next film that I watched, okay, so this happened last week. There is a media center in the city that we live in that they do free screenings of films, and often it's Korean films, but twice a month they'll do like a Western film. And we went before to go see Whiplash. It was great, and they had the Zone of Interest on. We went, oh brilliant, we'll go see that. We got in there and the film started, and I realized, I went, this film is in German. Like, I remember now, this film's in German. And we went, and because they had subtitles there just in Korean, and we went, fuck, this is in German. And did I live in Germany for 6 months? Yeah. Now, my German is to the level of zwei Bier bitte. You know, like, that's my German, okay? And I went, no, like, maybe it would be okay, maybe we don't, it like, maybe it's one of those films that like, we don't really need the dialogue. we left after 15 minutes because we were like, no, like you kind of do need the dialogue to know. Like we kind of were getting what was happening, but like, nah, like because I especially really wanted to watch this one, so it was really embarrassing. So we then raced to another cinema that was on the complete other side of the city to us, and we went to go see Sinners. Sinners was great. Really enjoyed Sinners. Sinners only like just came out here in Korea, so Sinners was great. I really enjoyed it. I had a great time watching it. I was like, I thought it was paced in a weird way, I guess, but maybe that's just on me, of my expectations of what I saw, because I saw people say it's like a zombie movie based in the South, and all of a sudden I went, oh, not a zombie movie, sorry, a vampire movie, and I was sick. Love a vampire film. And I guess it was predominantly based during the day leading up to them opening the Duke and stuff, and the vampire stuff, I don't know, felt like really rushed, or is very secondary, or whatever, I don't know. I was just like, oh, I want more vampires. That's my like one criticism, that's my main criticism. Also the epilogue, I felt was unnecessary. I felt that was a bit weird and a bit unnecessary. But I get like, it's like a lead up to a sequel. Fine. I was just like, oh. I just felt that I didn't see this. It wasn't necessary, personally. But I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It was great. And then the last one that I watched, I was like home alone one evening and I decided to watch Roman Holiday because it's on Netflix here for some reason. Oh, I love Audrey Hepburn. I love Gregory Peck. I love them. Oh, it was just such a nice film. It was just such a lovely film to watch. I didn't know anything about it. I just knew, oh, it's Audrey Hepburn and Gregory Peck and they're fucking around in Rome. Which essentially, hey, that's what the film is. They're just fucking around in Rome. They're on holiday. Literally, Roman holiday. And it was so great. It's such a great film. Everyone should watch it. It's one of those films that the whole time I was watching it, I was smiling. Now, one of those reasons is because like it's just a really nice, wholesome, sweet, innocent film. Like it's very easygoing to watch, but it's one of those ones that I don't know. I just like, that's a film. Do you know what I mean? That's like one of these great, classic, brilliant films. These movies that movie came out in 1953, and it's like stood the test of time. So I'm putting in a YouTube section because I watch a lot of YouTube. What can I say? So I watch all sorts of shit on YouTube. Okay, so but this month I rediscovered, she's like this knitting crochet vlogger called Passionate Kelsey. Was obsessed with her last summer. Rediscovered her. I've just been rewatching all of her vlogs. Next channel that I was watching a lot of was Tasting History. This guy, what he does is he takes recipes or food from history, through history, and I'm not talking like, oh, like, yeah, like recent history, but also like from the Roman era and like medieval times and even like prehistoric history, and recreates that food and those meals, and then does a video talking about like the history around it. And food history is one of those things that I've never, you don't really do it in school and stuff, but I find it really, really interesting. And then so on the food end, but on the other end of the spectrum, really been obsessed with Kitchen Nightmares. That was towards the beginning of the month. Kitchen Nightmares is my like, I'm going through it program. Every episode is the exact same, and I love it. It is so formulaic. It is Just, and it's this thing. And I'm obsessed with it. I'm really, really obsessed with it. So I was watching a lot of that towards the beginning of the month, shall we say. And there was a lot of things happening. A lot of things happening and going on. And then the other bit of YouTube I've been watching a lot of is BookTube. There's a lot of people talking about like books and reading. Two people I've been watching a lot is Jack Edwards, and I've been watching a lot of Meg with Books. She's a series of like trying to get her physical TBR down to 200 books, which is crazy. I guess I'm also somewhat vicariously living through them as well because they have physical books. And I don't have any books with me. I'm doing everything on my ebook reader, which I don't mind. I like it, but when I'm back home I prefer reading physical books. Okay, so thank you for watching. This is my first video back. I have a couple of other ideas and so I thought for videos and content that I want to make. So yeah, I have a more time now. I'm at an interesting point in my life and I think it'd be interesting to document it and share it and whatever the fuck else. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, maybe like subscribe or something, I don't know. All of my social links are down below. My Instagram, my letterboxd, my storygraph, all that stuff if you want to follow and see what else I'm doing on other places, please do. And yes, I will see you very soon. I always find it weird when YouTubers say that because like I'm not seeing you. I'm looking like down the lens on my camera. So I'm not seeing you. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I'll see you soon. You'll see me soon, I guess. I don't know. Okay, bye bye.